douche.
So, like most uneducated working class scum, I work in an office and I have done so for years. I've just recently changed jobs for more cash money, baby. But between this job and porking all these white bitches and finally taking driving lessons, I am struggling to find the several hours necessary every night to do internet stuff. Upside down ski resort. In the old job though, I had a group of friends that all had delicious tits. Lots of great friends and lots of great tits. But now I have no friends and no tits. Anyway, it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't know why working in an office is so horrible. If you're a lumberjack cutting down trees or pushing wheelbarrows filled with gold into a billionaire's helicopter storage unit, you might think an office would be a nice change. But don't fucking do it, bruh! You get to enjoy the sweet bee-filled air of the outside world. Offices, on the other hand, like to trap people indoors but surround you with the giant windows so you're forced to see everybody else outside having a great time. It's like being a budgie. You're trapped, you're a caged animal, and they tease you with the open skies that you can't fly in. Just let me fly! Offices specifically dehumanise you. We all remember that bit at the beginning of The Matrix when Neo was trying to escape the office because Agent What's-His-Face was accusing him of misappropriating funds or whatever the fuck. That was the scariest part of this franchise for me. The rest of it was mild in comparison. A bunch of robots were really cold and wanted humans to help them feel warm, and we got to do this by sleeping in gigantic anal beads. Speaking of rectal cavities, let's face facts, man. Office workers are little more than second-hand Lego pieces assembled into sexually inadequate, boring douche wizards. An assembly line of human failure, and we can't even build stuff because we sit at a computer. The £2 an hour Chinese slave on an actual assembly line is probably more productive than any office worker, and they get to eat Chinese food for lunch. It's a tragic catch-22 situation. Every office that has ever been built was a barely suppressed nuclear bomb of sexual tension, but the constant repression and rules and regulations means that you can't even talk about sex, let alone have an excellent vaginal DJ experience in the disabled toilet. You just end up with a bunch of old men who like to wear slippers and talk about home insurance and cars. Look, cars are boring, okay? If it's not the Batmobile, shut the fuck up. I can't honestly, truly explain the swollen, throbbing, vascular anger I feel at these kind of people and the office jargon that they like to use. The kind of nonsense gibberish that are said by obvious fucking Cylons. We start posting the updated processes after an end-to-end review of the back end. We'll hang fire on rolling out the updates until the team leaders cascade the bullet point reviews to the teams for dissemination. Focus your quarterly feedback to your quality improvement champions through the forums database to facilitate personal growth and goal achievement. Streamlining the workflow may lead to minor and temporary human resource reallocation assignments. Fuck off, you cock. If you ever want to get a hint to what true suffering looks like, then I would suggest you watch The Office, or the infinitely superior American Office, or the movie Office Space. They're actually surprisingly close to real life in a lot of ways. Most offices tend to have their own help desk team, like a group of people that are there specifically to answer phones, and it's usually the most obnoxious motormouth types, you know, the bubbly or chatty types, i.e. the fat disgusting weirdos that no one wants to look at. In a previous job that I had, the sweaty blob team would have their own timesheet issues. They would have something called a comfort break. A 5-minute warning was in place. If that's not clear, if you have to go to the toilet, it has to be under 5 minutes. Which means if you're having a particularly challenging defecation session and it is tearing your anus to tiny little pieces, you actually have to mark this in your daily timesheet. You will have to go and inform your attractive, possibly bisexual boss that you had such a big shit that you needed to specifically stop working for both delivery and recovery time of said shit. Every office generally has the same types of people in it. You'll have your sexy young girls, the women in their late teens, early mid-20s. You'll have the older guy who hangs out with these girls, who is desperate to have sex with them despite having a hairline that would embarrass Captain Picard. He also dresses like someone who has just robbed a vintage charity shop. Offices also tend to have those older women who manage to break the laws of physics by simultaneously constantly being on a diet and also stuffing their fucking faces with cakes every single day. I once worked at a bank of desks with 7 women and they were all on a diet at the same time. At least 2 of these women were comfortably in that 2 seats on the plane range. Another couple of these women were in that wonderful big butts and big tits range, and at least one of them was absolutely flawless. The only fat on her was my fat dick. Obviously that was in my dreams, my tiny, flaccid, unsatisfying dreams, but the point stands. You'll also have at least one of those weird older guys, a middle-aged blowhard full of his own importance. As loud as he is poorly dressed, he'll happily interject himself into your conversations, or your pleasant silence, or your toilet break, to inform you about whatever theory is running around in the prison exercise yard he calls a mind. The guy will usually start you off easy by informing you about the real reason why electricity prices are so high, but within a couple of days he's happy to explain why 9/11 was an inside job, and why the reverse vampires went back in time to arrange the Pearl Harbor attack, and that the Queen is in fact an alien and the British Parliament is a secret military complex designed to defend the human race from invasions from a sentient species of beetles. It's all fun and games until someone uses the phrase Zionist infiltrator, and at that point it's time to back away slowly out the window. You'll have that guy, the super officey guy who wears the exact same suit every single day, and on dress down day he breaks all the rules by wearing a red and green tie instead of just a red tie. Your belt and your shoes don't even match, you absolute cabbage. At the other end of that scale you have that one woman, and it's always a woman, who absolutely must be acknowledged for being the most super special unique cookie snowflake that has ever lived. You can always tell the nonconformist type. She'll have 5 different hair colours, huge earlobe piercings, various other piercings across her ears that look like the side of a Borg spaceship, a gigantic bar through her nose, the Olympic logo protruding from her lips, uneven eyeshadow, tattoos on her arms, her legs, her neck, her back, her knuckles. She'll complete this look with a Pokemon hoodie above a faded ripped Star Wars t-shirt, above tie-dye leggings, and a psychedelic scarf, and right at the bottom she'll have leopard print shoes. Newsflash, you are not a unicorn. You may think I'm being kinda harsh here. You're motherfucking right. There's just something particularly irritating about that one person who's so desperate to show everybody how special and different they are, that it actually has the opposite effect, and this person's uniqueness is dismissed for the more believable answer that they are in fact a shallow and vacuous perpetual adolescent who desperately needs attention that their parents never gave them. There are so many standard office stock characters to reference: the soft-spoken effeminate gay guy, the lesbian with the half-shaved hair and tattoo sleeves, the son of the manager who does no work, the guy who never shuts up about whatever particular sport he likes, and this guy.
I believe you have my stapler.
The real issue with office work, of course, is you need to tolerate these people. The loud ones, the quietly racist ones, the stinky ass ones, the grabbers, the talkers, the people who think curry is an acceptable lunch food. You know you will become one of these pod people. You put on your black trousers and your black shoes, you put on your tie, you worry about bus schedules, you can see your penis getting smaller by the month, and I ain't exactly carrying excess luggage here, you know what I'm saying? In the end, you will become everything that you loathe in this world. You are trapped in this living death. Forever. You have to applaud the US, I think. If people in the UK could own guns, there would be an office shooting like every 7 minutes.